I was watching you watch the sun come up, vintage t-shirt and worn through high tops. These nights taste like gold, sweet with obsession. Show me something as each morning comes. We wear out the night like we wear our clothes, dancing right through the fire.
For a while now, I've been wanting to compare the Lotus Elise to the Porsche Cayman and do it in sort of a real-world setting. So that's what we're going to do today. And while I've been in the 718, I've never driven the Cayman with the flat 6. And so even though it's a non-S base model, it's something I'm still really looking forward to. And I look forward to knowing more about, what these cars are really like to drive. So this is the first Porsche that I've driven with a PDK. In fact, it's the first car I've ever driven with a dual clutch. It's brilliant, really. It's superior to a manual in every way except for the fun part. And I think that's where people get confused as far as like, well, which do I do? Do I want the better performance, or do I want the thing that's more engaging? The Cayman is a far more comfortable place to be if that's something if you're into that. I guess the other thing you notice is just how much bigger it feels. This is not a large car, but it feels substantially larger than my Elise. In terms of steering feel, it's nothing like the Elise, and it's really not a fair comparison because, when you go from something with a manual steering rack with super lightweight, anything with hydraulic or electric steering is gonna feel a bit lacking. But you do get some. It's not totally numb, but it's numb compared to the Lotus. I mean, everything's numb compared to the Lotus. This is a just brilliantly pleasant car to drive. It could be a special occasion car, it's possible, but I think what it really is, especially in this base form and with the PDK, is a really great daily. I mean, this would be awesome to drive every day. If you're trying to decide between the two, you've really got to drive them both, because if you just try to imagine what they are based on the spec sheets or what you've read about them or what you've heard other people say about them in isolation, it would be easy to think that they're similar enough that you're not giving up much to go with one or the other, where it's just not the case. I mean, the Cayman is a real car, and I think that's what it's a real car compared to the Lotus, which is really it's so purpose-built. I mean, there's only a Caterham 7 is really even more purpose-built than a Lotus Elise or an Exige. It's a great car. I really love this transmission. It's pretty awesome. The shifts are they're pretty epic. But again, it's just like it does it all for you, and so I don't know. I mean, there's nothing fun about it. It's a little too luxe, it's so, even this base one just feels like, it feels like I've gone from a shack to a mansion on the interior, and the visceral element it's not there. While it handles awesome, you don't feel it. And it's one of those things where if you've never driven a Lotus, this might feel really pretty amazing, and not soft or numb or anything like that. But to me, it feels big. It feels a little squishy. It just doesn't have that. It doesn't have that direct feel. It may be as precise, but it doesn't feel as precise. When people talk about canyon carving, it really feels like you're carving something in the Lotus. Like it truly does. Whereas this does feel like, as flat as it is, that I'm riding on top of it and not fully in it. Compared to the Lotus, it feels muted, and that might be loud enough for you. It might be totally loud enough for 90% of people, but maybe if you're the kind of person who wants to ride bareback and not on a saddle, if you know what I mean, then gosh, it's not going to. It's great, but it's not going to satisfy you, and it's very expensive. You know, I might need to go back to the first gen Cayman to see, because I think they are supposed to have a slightly more raw driving experience, and that's what this is missing in my view. It's just it's too comfortable. It's too nice. It's like a shrubbery, a nice one, but not too nice. You know, it's a shrubbery that's a little too nice. Thank you so much for watching today. I hope you enjoyed this comparison. If you did and you'd like to support the channel, please consider using one of the links down in the description area below this. I intend to make this one of the best automotive channels on YouTube. So click that like button, click that subscribe button, leave a comment down in the area below this, tell your friends, share these links online, and thank you for watching.